Have you ever questioned whether traveling after the age of 70 is still a good idea? Exploring new destinations and experiencing different cultures is undeniably exciting. However, there are substantial risks that many seniors fail to consider until it's too late. As we grow older, both our bodies and minds undergo changes that make travel not only more exhausting, but sometimes dangerous. While it may seem like one can continue traveling at the same pace as in their younger years, the reality is that for seniors, traveling after 70 presents unique obstacles that can turn a dream vacation into a stressful and at times life-threatening ordeal. In this article, we will dive into 5 key reasons why traveling after the age of 70 can be risky. From unforeseen health emergencies to hidden financial risks that can drain your savings, each point will help highlight the challenges seniors face when they choose to travel. By the end of this article, you'll have a clearer understanding of why travel at this stage in life demands more caution and preparation than ever before. Stick around till the end, as the last risk we discuss is one that most seniors never anticipate, yet it's one of the most common ways people lose their money, time, and peace of mind when traveling. Let's begin with the first risk. 1. Increased health risks and medical emergencies. One of the biggest concerns for seniors traveling after 70 is the heightened risk of sudden health issues. As we age, our bodies become less predictable, and conditions such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and respiratory issues can escalate quickly into emergencies. While it's easier to get medical help at home, when you're traveling, especially abroad or to unfamiliar places, accessing the right treatment can become complex. A minor health issue that could have been handled easily back home can quickly escalate into a serious, even life-threatening situation when you are far from your regular doctor. For many seniors, the risk of a medical emergency is not just a hypothetical situation. It's very real. Long flights, for example, can increase the risk of blood clots, commonly known as deep vein thrombosis. High altitudes can also place unnecessary strain on the heart and lungs, especially for individuals with pre-existing conditions. Even something as seemingly simple as dehydration or heat exhaustion can become much more severe in an unfamiliar environment. Seniors are also more vulnerable to infections, so exposure to new bacteria or viruses in different locations can lead to illnesses that may be much harder to fight off. Consider the story of James, a 74-year-old man who had always loved to travel. He planned a relaxing 2-week cruise with his wife, expecting a smooth and easygoing experience. However, on the 4th day, he suddenly started experiencing severe chest pain. The ship's medical team provided basic care, but because they were in the middle of the ocean, James needed to be evacuated to the nearest port for proper medical treatment. Unfortunately, this process took several hours, delaying his care significantly. Thankfully, he survived, but the experience left him deeply shaken. What was supposed to be a peaceful vacation quickly turned into a terrifying ordeal that James later admitted could have been avoided if he had taken the potential health risks more seriously. Furthermore, many seniors make the mistake of assuming that their regular health insurance will cover them wherever they go. Unfortunately, that's often not the case. If you don't have the right travel insurance, medical treatments, emergency surgeries, and even simple medications could result in astronomical out-of-pocket expenses. Some seniors find themselves paying thousands of dollars for basic medical attention while abroad. If you're over 70 and considering travel, it's essential to consult with your doctor before making any decisions. Have a full health assessment and discuss any potential risks with them. Ensure that you have all necessary medications with you, and make sure you research the healthcare system in your travel destination. If traveling internationally, comprehensive travel insurance that includes emergency evacuations and hospital stays is crucial. Preparation and proper health coverage are the key to avoiding a medical disaster on your trip. 2. Increased exposure to infections and contaminants. One of the most underestimated risks of traveling after 70 is the heightened exposure to germs, viruses, and foodborne illnesses. Airports, crowded airplanes, public transportation, and unfamiliar restaurants create an ideal environment for bacteria and viruses to thrive. While younger travelers may only find a minor cold or stomach issue to be an inconvenience, for seniors, such infections can lead to serious health complications, hospitalizations, or even long-term health setbacks. A single trip can expose an older adult to more viruses and bacteria than they might encounter over the course of several months back home. As we age, our immune system weakens, making it harder for us to fight off illnesses. Respiratory infections, in particular, pose a significant threat. Seniors are much more susceptible to complications from flu, pneumonia, and even the common cold, especially when exposed to new strains that are prevalent in other parts of the world. Airplanes, for example, are notorious breeding grounds for germs. With passengers sitting in close proximity and breathing in the same recycled air for hours, the risk of catching something increases dramatically. Airports, too, can be full of travelers from all over the globe, each potentially carrying different viruses. Another serious issue is food and water safety. While travelers may be excited to try new and exotic foods, unfamiliar ingredients or methods of preparation can lead to digestive issues or foodborne illnesses such as norovirus, E. coli, and salmonella. These illnesses can be much harder for seniors to overcome, leading to dehydration and a severely compromised immune system. Waterborne illnesses are another danger, as many travelers unknowingly drink contaminated water or eat foods washed in unsafe water, which can cause severe stomach infections. In addition, public spaces like restrooms, hotel rooms, and rental cars are all places where germs can linger. Even if these places appear clean, surfaces like doorknobs, tray tables, and seat belts are rarely disinfected properly. For seniors who rely on mobility aids like canes or walkers, the risk is even higher, as they frequently touch surfaces for balance and support. If you're over 70 and planning to travel, taking extra precautions is essential. Consider wearing a mask in crowded areas, washing your hands frequently, and using hand sanitizer. It's wise to only drink bottled or filtered water. Avoid raw foods in unfamiliar locations and stick to well-cooked meals. Carrying essential medications for respiratory or stomach issues is also highly recommended. While it's possible to stay healthy while traveling, it requires vigilance, preparation, and a strong immune system. 3. Travel fatigue and recovery challenges. While traveling may seem exciting, seniors over the age of 70 often experience a much greater physical toll than expected. Long flights, irregular check-in times, and hours of walking can lead to exhaustion that is much harder to recover from compared to younger years. In the past, a good night's sleep might have been enough to recharge the body. However, as we get older, fatigue can linger for days or even weeks after a trip, affecting overall well-being. When the body is tired, everything else suffers. The immune system weakens, coordination deteriorates, and the likelihood of illness or injury increases significantly. One of the most common issues for seniors while traveling is disrupted sleep. Sleeping in unfamiliar beds, dealing with noisy hotels, or adjusting to new time zones can make it nearly impossible to get enough rest. Sleep deprivation is not just about feeling tired. It also affects mental sharpness, weakens the immune system, and can even contribute to heart problems. Studies have shown that seniors take longer to adjust when traveling across multiple time zones, meaning that jet lag can last much longer than expected. This lingering exhaustion can turn what should be a relaxing vacation into a miserable ordeal, leaving you drained instead of rejuvenated. The physical strain of travel is also a significant concern. Long periods of sitting on planes, trains, or buses can lead to stiff muscles, swollen joints, and an increased risk of blood clots. For seniors with arthritis or circulation problems, long journeys can cause discomfort that lasts well beyond the trip. Once you arrive at your destination, the demands of sightseeing, carrying luggage, and keeping up with an ambitious schedule can become overwhelming. What was supposed to be an exciting vacation may quickly turn into a struggle to keep up with daily activities. Consider Richard, a 75-year-old man who had always enjoyed traveling. After his retirement, he and his wife planned a 2-week overseas vacation, hoping it would be as enjoyable as their trips in the past. However, after a 10-hour flight, navigating a busy airport, and adjusting to a 6-hour time difference, Richard felt exhausted before the trip had even started. By the second day, he had trouble walking long distances, struggled to stay alert during sightseeing tours, and needed frequent breaks. By the time he was finally able to adjust, it was almost time to return home, and he spent the following weeks recovering from his trip rather than enjoying the memories. To help mitigate these issues, seniors should plan for plenty of rest days, stay hydrated, and avoid packing their itinerary with too many activities. Taking shorter flights with layovers to give the body a chance to move around, packing healthy snacks, and ensuring there's time for naps can help prevent exhaustion. It's also important to recognize personal limits and adjust travel plans accordingly. A vacation should be about enjoyment, not about suffering through physical exhaustion. 4. Higher risk of falls and injuries. Another significant risk for seniors traveling after 70 is the increased likelihood of falls and injuries. As we age, our balance, reflexes, and bone density naturally decline, making us more vulnerable to accidents. While a minor stumble at home may not seem like a big deal, a fall while traveling, especially in an unfamiliar place, can result in broken bones, serious hospital stays, or even permanent mobility issues. A single fall can alter the course of a senior's life, transforming a planned vacation into a painful and costly ordeal. The reality is that travel environments can be far different from what seniors are used to. Hotels, cruise ships, and historic sites may have uneven floors, poorly lit staircases, or slippery surfaces, making falls more likely. In some destinations, accessibility accommodations are minimal, so basic activities like stepping onto a bus or walking on cobblestone streets can present unexpected hazards. Consider the experience of Linda, a 78-year-old woman who had dreamed of visiting Europe. She was in excellent shape for her age, walking regularly in her neighborhood without problems. However, when she arrived in Italy and began navigating the steep, uneven streets, she quickly realized it wasn't as easy as she had anticipated. One evening, as she stepped off a curb in a dimly lit alley, she lost her balance and fell, breaking her hip. After being rushed to a local hospital, Linda had to cut her trip short and undergo surgery. Not only did she have to spend months recovering, but what was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime became an experience she wished she had never undertaken. Traveling also often involves long days, irregular meal schedules, and disrupted sleep, all of which can affect coordination and balance. When the body is fatigued, reaction times slow, making it easier to lose your balance. For seniors with joint pain or arthritis, long walks through airports, train stations, or tourist sites can cause swelling, making a fall more likely. To reduce the risk of falls, seniors should consider destinations with good accessibility, avoid areas with uneven terrain, and always wear proper footwear. Using walking aids like canes or walkers, staying well rested, and recognizing one's physical limits can help prevent accidents. No trip is worth sacrificing long-term mobility or independence. 5. Travel insurance and financial risks. One of the most unexpected and often overlooked dangers of traveling after 70 isn't necessarily related to health, but rather the financial risks associated with it. Many seniors assume that if they encounter any problems during their trip, they can rely on their health insurance or personal savings. However, the reality is much more complicated. Travel-related medical emergencies, unexpected trip cancellations, and even financial scams can quickly deplete a person's savings, turning a dream vacation into a financial nightmare. For seniors, a single unforeseen event can drain their bank account, causing overwhelming stress and financial strain. One of the biggest financial risks that seniors face is the cost of medical care abroad. Many people don't realize that their regular health insurance often doesn't cover medical expenses incurred outside their home country. This means that if a senior falls ill or gets injured while traveling, they could be left with a bill amounting to thousands of dollars in medical costs, even in countries where healthcare is generally more affordable. Emergency medical evacuations, such as airlifting a patient to the nearest hospital, can cost tens of thousands of dollars, an expense that can quickly ruin anyone's finances if they lack proper travel insurance. Trip cancellations present another significant financial burden. Many seniors book their trips well in advance, assuming they will be in good health by the time their travel date arrives. Unfortunately, life is unpredictable. Health conditions or other emergencies can arise at the last minute, forcing seniors to cancel their plans. Regrettably, many airlines, hotels, and cruise lines have strict policies that do not allow for refunds on last-minute cancellations, meaning seniors can lose significant amounts of money if they have to alter their plans. Without travel insurance, recovering that money becomes almost impossible. On top of medical expenses and trip cancellations, seniors are also at risk of falling victim to scams and fraud. Criminals often target older adults, especially travelers, using tactics such as fake taxi services, overcharging for simple goods, or even more elaborate schemes to steal personal financial information. Many scammers look for seniors who are unfamiliar with their surroundings, knowing that they may be less likely to recognize a scam while in a foreign country. Consider the story of George, a 76-year-old man who had always been diligent with his finances. He saved up for months to take a dream vacation to a tropical island. However, when he arrived, he discovered that the hotel he had booked didn't exist. George had fallen victim to an online scam. By the time he realized it, his money was gone, and he had no place to stay. He had to scramble to find alternative accommodations, paying double the amount he had originally budgeted. What should have been a relaxing getaway turned into a stressful financial disaster that continued to affect him long after his trip. To protect themselves, seniors should first ensure that their health insurance covers international travel. If not, they should invest in a comprehensive travel insurance plan that includes medical emergencies and trip cancellations. When booking trips, only use reputable companies and avoid deals that seem too good to be true. Seniors should also be cautious with their finances while traveling, avoiding large amounts of cash, being mindful of who has access to their credit card information, and never trusting strangers with sensitive financial details. While travel can certainly be exciting, the financial risks that come with it make it clear that after the age of 70, extra caution is needed. The unexpected costs of medical care, the possibility of losing money to scams, and the unpredictability of health emergencies make travel a gamble that not every senior is prepared to handle. Final thoughts. After exploring these 5 significant reasons why traveling after the age of 70 can be risky, it becomes evident that seniors face unique challenges when it comes to travel. From unexpected health emergencies to financial pitfalls, each of these factors can turn what should be a relaxing and enjoyable vacation into a stressful and sometimes dangerous experience. Does this mean seniors should never travel again? Not necessarily. It simply means that the way seniors approach travel must change. Instead of opting for long, exhausting flights, busy tours, and high-risk destinations, it might be wise to choose closer, safer travel options that put less strain on the body. Exploring local attractions, taking shorter trips, or visiting destinations with easy access to healthcare can make all the difference in ensuring a safe and enjoyable experience. At the end of the day, travel should enrich life, not create new problems. Seniors who are considering traveling after 70 should take the time to think carefully about the potential risks involved. Are you in good enough health to handle the journey? Do you have the right travel insurance to protect yourself from financial setbacks? Have you chosen a destination that is accessible and safe for your needs? These questions may not seem thrilling to ask, but answering them honestly could save you from unnecessary hardship later. Longevity isn't just about adding years to life. It's about making sure those years are lived with quality, independence, and peace of mind. If staying healthier and safer means rethinking that next trip, it's worth reconsidering the risks before booking that flight. Thank you for taking the time to read this guide. We encourage you to share any insights or thoughts you may have in the comments below. If you found this article useful, please like and share it with others who may benefit from this information. Your feedback helps us continue providing helpful content for seniors who want to travel smarter, safer, and with confidence.